Yes, it is. How are you?
Hi, Angel. It's Yvette. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm actually really excited to talk to you this morning. Um,
As am I.
yeah, you recently wrote the book, When the Cypress Whispers, about your own story and your own family. Can you tell me a bit more about how that sort of came about and what really the story is about?
Absolutely. Well, When the Cypress Whispers is a novel inspired by my own family and our Greek-American experience. It's very much also inspired by my grandmother's life and stories that she told me about how during the war, she was one of a group of islanders who risked their own lives to help hide and save a Jewish family from the Nazis. So that story is very much the heart and soul and inspiration of When the Cypress Whispers.
Wow, that's actually really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I was wondering, though, you spent, what was it, 20 plus years in, TV news and, producing extra and whatnot.
Yes.
What was it like for you to share your own story as opposed to someone else's story?
It's a great question, and it's been a really fascinating process. As a producer for Extra and as a producer for the past, 20 some odd years, it's been my job to help other people achieve their dreams. Oscar winners, Grammy winners, even presidents. I get to interview people about what it's like to finally get to that place. So after many, many years of interviewing these people, I sat and I said, you know what? I want to know what that feels like. I want to know what it is to live my dream. And I'd always wondered if I ever had a novel in me. And one day I sat down and, the number one rule of writing is to write what you know. So I started writing a story about our family's immigrant experience.
Wow, that's awesome. How did you do the research for this book? Where did you go first, and how did it sort of follow through the channels?
Well, the research process is kind of interesting because I lived it. I grew up in a Greek-American household. My grandmother came to live with me after my grandfather died. So I grew up listening to these stories. I grew up eating the food. I grew up watching my grandmother cook, always too much food because she didn't know how to cook for less than a small village. So I very much grew up immersed in this culture of women helping women and food and love and warmth and mythology. And, I did a little bit of research to the historical aspect of the book, but it really was very much the things and the way that I was raised. And I wanted it to be a love letter to these women and to our culture and the way that I was raised.
Oh, wow. Don't make me cry this morning.
There have been a lot of tears, trust me. Good ones.
Yes, well, I mean, any work of love will give you that, right? That's all. Can you tell me where the book is going? Is there going to be any follow-up to it? Are you going on tour with the book? What are you doing now?
I am on tour. I do speaking engagements all over the place, and you can, certainly reach out to me on my website, YvetteCorporon.com. But I think one of the coolest things that's happened since the book is with the help of MyHeritage.com, I have been able to go and actually find the family that my grandmother helped hide and save. After writing the book, it became an obsession of mine. I wanted not only to tell my grandmother's story, but I wanted to finish my grandmother's story. I wanted to find this family that she had risked her own life to save. And it took years and years and years, and I came up empty. And then finally, one morning, after taking the name of one of the men that my grandmother helped hide and save, I took that one name, that little bit of information that I found, and I plugged it into the database of MyHeritage.com. And within 5 minutes, I was staring at a family tree of these women that I'd been searching for years. And within a half an hour, I was actually speaking to the family, and we were communicating, and we were sharing our stories. And I've learned in that moment that the women that I had been searching for never told their family about what happened on our island, because like many Holocaust survivors, they never spoke of the war when they finally reached the safety of Israel. So, the book tour is great, all the promotion is wonderful, but at the end of the day, it was helping another family discover what their family story is with the help of MyHeritage.com that I think has been really the most rewarding part of this whole process.
Wow. How is this website open to just anyone who wants to go and get information? Is it public records that are on there? What can people find on there?
I mean, honestly, you can find your own family story. It's amazing. I was sitting in my kitchen, no joke, in my pajamas having coffee at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I plugged this name in, and it opened up this world to me, and anyone can do it. Trust me, if I could do it, Anyone can do it. In fact, MyHeritage wants to help other people discover their stories as well. So they're offering people a 30% coupon code. If you go onto the website and plug in Cypress Whispers, you will get 30% off and you will, of course, find your own family story. And I promise you, it's rewarding and it's amazing, and you never know what you're going to find. And every family has a story. You got to seek it out and find it yourself.
As long as you don't find too many skeletons, right?
Well, you know what? The skeletons are kind of fun too. I certainly found some skeletons, and they were kind of, the coolest part, because then you realize. And the other cool thing is, we all love our grandparents, and they're cute and cuddly, and they love us. But our grandparents had lives before they were our grandparents. I always thought my grandmother was this wonderful, lovely woman who loved to cook. She risked her life to help another woman and her children, to help another family. I never knew this about her until I stopped to dig into her past. It's amazing what you'll find.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm really glad I had the chance to speak with you this morning. And I'll definitely reach out to you via Twitter and your Facebook page.
Please do.
Hopefully keep the conversation going. Where can people buy your book?
You can buy When the Cypress Whispers at harpercollins.com. Please do, and reach out to me on social media. Let me know what you think. And let me know what you find about your own families. I'd love to hear from people and share stories.
That would be awesome. Well, you have a fantastic day.
Thank you so much. Nice chatting with you.
Okay.
Take care.